When you treat a narcissist the same way they have treated you, what unfolds is not insight, remorse, or self-reflection. They do not pause to consider how their behavior feels from the other side. Narcissists are already aware of what they do and how harmful it is, which is exactly why they cannot tolerate experiencing it themselves. Being treated the way they treat others doesn't awaken empathy in them. It shatters their illusion of control. The first response is often an explosive mix of shock and rage. This shock is not genuine surprise, but the panic that comes from realizing their manipulation is no longer working. In their internal world, you were never meant to have boundaries, a voice, or autonomy. You were expected to absorb mistreatment quietly. When that role collapses, they feel exposed and powerless. Because their sense of superiority depends on dominance, any resistance feels like an attack. Rage becomes their tool to reassert control through intimidation, verbal abuse, threats, or passive aggression. They may accuse you of being disrespectful, ungrateful, or even abusive, projecting their own behavior onto you. As the dynamic continues, the abuse often escalates. Seeing their own actions mirrored back to them forces a confrontation with a truth they refuse to accept, so they flee from it through projection and justification. In their mind, your response becomes rebellion, betrayal, or cruelty. This triggers a more punitive version of them, more manipulative, more controlling, more vindictive. They may withhold resources, create chaos through legal systems, interfere with your stability, or sabotage your reputation. Even after separation, they may refuse to let go, using any means necessary to keep you emotionally dysregulated and off balance. Another common tactic is emotional manipulation through resurrecting the past. They may bring up shared memories or times you supported each other, using them to guilt you back into submission. They position themselves as deeply wounded by your behavior, even when you're simply responding to their treatment. This strategy is designed to deflect responsibility and trigger your empathy. Because you have been conditioned to prioritize their emotional state over your own, you may feel intense guilt for causing them pain, even when they created the situation. This is how narcissistic guilt keeps you trapped, by making you responsible for their emotional well-being. They may also shift fully into victim mode. In this version of the story, they are innocent and persecuted, while you're cast as the aggressor. They deny their actions, fixate on your reaction, and reverse the roles of victim and offender. This allows them to rally others against you by presenting selective, out-of-context narratives that paint you as unstable or abusive. The goal is not dialogue or truth, but punishment and social isolation. Ultimately, treating a narcissist the way they treat you does not lead to understanding or change. It reveals their inability to tolerate equality, accountability, or loss of control. Instead of self-reflection, they respond with escalation, distortion, and retaliation. What you witness is not your cruelty, but their desperation to preserve a false sense of power at any cost.